So, guys, this is my review for Berserk 1997 original version, episode number 23, guys, and let's dive into it. Yeah, such a really great episode. With them starting with them running away, being chased, and eventually like the enemy getting, getting Griffith in their hands, in their clutches. Uh, I was thinking, I was thinking of something specific that I'm going to mention in a moment, but just to see, when the one guy he took the cloak thing that was covering Griffith and he exposed Griffith's body to what it currently looks like, right? Because we know that at the end of episode 22, well, towards the end of episode 22, that Griffith had stopped Casca from basically seeing what Griffith looked like. He just didn't want her to see it because he, Casca has such, her such an emotional attachment to Griffith, and he definitely was felt like he was, basically trying to protect her mind from seeing Griffith the way that he was. But at the same time, we, literally here in episode 23, we get the exposure of what Griffith looks like, without that cloak over his body, and Casca sees it. Now, of course, also, the rest of their men see it as well, and we see that the effect that it has had on everybody. But one thing I was thinking was maybe possibly going to happen. It didn't happen. It's not a bad thing. Was that I was thinking like Casca was going to, kind of be upset at Griffith for not allowing her to see him that way. Maybe at the same time, because she didn't react that way, she probably in her mind was probably a little bit grateful to Guts for not allowing her to see Griffith in that way. But at the same time, again, we see her tending to his wounds here in episode 23 and rebandaging his body. But still, it still has a major effect on her anyway. Of course, again, their men are going through it. Corcus is even going through it. The bum is even going through it, to the point that he breaks his sword. And I'm like, dude, you need a new weapon. But I wasn't too. I guess, per my reaction for what you see in my reaction when you watch it, I wasn't too talkative just because I was trying to take in everything, because I believe that because of the fact that we saw Griffith the way that he was. Like, for me, for the first time seeing Griffith, how he looked, for me mentally, I too was affected in such a way where I was like, I need to see how they're all going to react. So I couldn't really be too engaged in this episode. I mean, I was engaged a little bit, but not how I normally am. Just because, like even too, I feel like even later on in this, as the show is closing, only got 2 episodes left. Like, I'm not too engaged as far as the episodes are concerned, because because of how things have just been, like, the story has been progressing. The characters have been having character growth, the dialogue, everything is kind of just like you're just wanting to just pay attention to every single detail in each episode, that you don't want to miss anything. If I feel the need to respond in such a way how I normally do, because I might miss something and I'll have to go back and rewatch it. Now, again, not saying that I'm not going to rewatch these episodes again. I definitely am going to rewatch these episodes. But just that first viewing later on in the show, it's like you kind of don't want to miss things. But one thing I definitely did, for sure, find interesting is basically when Griffith was going through it. Now, at the same time, he's paying attention to Casca and Guts' conversation. He's doing that as well. But at the same time, it's that even those conversations, I feel like, are having an effect on him too, to the point that we see him having like these vivid dreams of him being younger. We have him popping up. We have a vision of himself popping up, telling him, asking him, why are you like laying here feared and frightened and stuff. he points to that castle. He's like, your end game isn't done yet. Your story isn't done yet. You have to get to this point. And he basically says it in his mind. Now, that's the thing. Like, that's the other thing. Like, Griffith doesn't talk much. Once they get to him, we know that he's thinking of stuff in his mind. But he still says it in his mind, even when he grabs the horses and rides the carriage down. Several. I want to say yard. Well, not so much as yards, but he definitely took the horses for a good while. Maybe a half hour away from where they were before they crashed. But in his mind, he's thinking like, I have to get to the end of this cobblestone. Basically because he's chasing after that little kid version of himself. But again, in this like lucid dream that he's having, he's dreaming of him and Casca, which I found interesting. And the fact too that Casca mentions Guts, but she calls him the guy with this long sword. But the other thing that I find interesting is that in this lucid dream, they have a son, and when the son is messing with the dog, Casca says, Guts, stop messing with Pietro. That's the dog name. Come in the house to eat. And he responded like, yes, mother. I found that interesting too. So Guts is definitely in Griffith's mind heavily, because again, he's still blaming Guts for, his current predicament, that year-long thing in him being in jail, their final battle, all of this stuff. It's like Guts has basically become, Griffith's main enemy. But with that, too, there's that eclipse that happens. Again, I said it in my reaction. He finds the necklace. I say, what are the odds? He has that vivid past memory of him talking to that lady who's handing him the necklace, and she says, its name is Bailiff. I forgot the other name that she had mentioned. It was like basically telling him that, you're sacrificing your body and your blood for, whatever it is that's coming along with this necklace. But again, we see this eclipse happening. Everybody, Griffith and Casca and the whole crew seeing this eclipse happen. And I see that Griffith is saying, kind of like, because he's looking in Gus' direction, he's saying, don't come near me, don't come close to me, blah, blah, blah. Also, too, I want to mention that I found it very strange that Griffith tried to kill himself right there with that, we're in the image here, with that part of the thing sticking out. But he was unsuccessful. But I definitely find it interesting too that he's like saying like, don't come near me. If you touch my shoulders, I won't specifically do something, like I won't, like, I guess he's saying like get to his main goal or something like that, which Guts does anyway. But then we see these like demons popping up out of nowhere because I guess the eclipse is coming around. Something's about to go down. I don't know what it is, but it's just something weird. It just the end of the episode just had me. You saw my reaction. In the episode, just like I was speechless at what was going on. The necklace forms a face and it opens his eyes. Blood is pouring out his eyes and it's screaming loud. And then the entire like area that they're in just has that face attached. I guess it was the face that's attached to the necklace, forms all around them. There's many faces, plus we got the demons there. Everybody sees it. Yeah, the end of this episode was really just like eerie and strange and creepy. I was just speechless for like roughly like 2 minutes because I just couldn't, I just really didn't have any response to what the heck was going on. But something's getting ready to happen. Something's getting ready to go down. And it's more likely going to start in episode 24. More than likely take me to the final episode in episode 25. But again, I did indeed enjoy this episode. Like I said, the seeing Griffith for me and for everybody is just really definitely mentally had a huge effect on all of us, because I'm attaching myself to the crew, because it's just like I said, I was just like, I really needed to pay attention to see how people were reacting and stuff. So yeah, guys, I enjoyed episode 23. I'm getting ready to go watch episode 24 next. Hoping to finalize this anime at least. Hopefully be able to get these videos up at the same time, the same day, including my review videos. So, but with that, guys, let me know your thoughts. What y'all think of episode 23 when you first sat down to watch it for the first time? What you think of this review? Leave some comments in the comment section below. Let's talk about some things. But other than that, I will talk to you all over my reaction and review to episode 24 to come. Peace, guys.